Up TV is a cable network often considered the destination for television the family can watch together. And at its root is a familiar name in the history of Christian television. Studio 5 pays a visit to the heart of the media company to bring you this inside look. Shows like Bringing Up Bates, Gilmore Girls, and Heartland are fan favorites for the Up TV cable network, a trusted destination for television the family can watch together. Charlie Humbard began back in 2004. So in terms of the beginning for you all, the start, where in Atlanta or the Georgia area were you when you began?
My basement.
Are you serious?
Yeah, serious. So this channel started in my basement in Peachtree City.
Humble beginnings for the network with offices now in Atlanta, New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles. We visited Humbard in Atlanta. Sitting here, it would seem to me that your journey to Up really began with your dad.
Started when our first show was at 5 years old. My sister and I did a show called Elizabeth and Charlie Visits the Holy Land. So we literally shot there for a month and a half in Israel, and we're one of the first to take people from around the world. The show aired worldwide on a tour, a personal tour of the sites that mattered to them across Israel, and narrated it at 5. And my sister was 8, so that was my first experience with television. Just early memories there.
The scripture starts out by saying, after 6 days.
Charlie's dad was Rex Humbard, a pioneer in television ministry, and the famed founder of the Cathedral of Tomorrow.
The first televangelist. So in 1974, the managing editor of Time magazine was doing a story on Dad. It was a feature story that year, that month, and he called him back up and he said, Rex, it was going to be a great story. I'm not sure what to call you. You're this preacher that does Sunday morning television, but you're also this like evangelist guy. So I was going to try this name called Televangelist. Dad's, sure, whatever you want to call it. And it's now a Jeopardy question. So that's where that all began. But Dad went on television in 1952. So there was one other pastor, I think, on doing some specials at the time. And so Dad really was the first televangelist as we know them today. He was a visionary.
And passed this along to you, the visionary.
Those are pretty big shoes to fill. I think he passed a lot of things along to me that we use in our business today. And the way we think about our brand, the way we think about our business today, certainly I think is influenced by my dad. The way we are a very inclusive network came from my father. I grew up in a church where one Sunday it was Andre Crouch and the Disciples, the next Sunday it was Pat Boone, the next Sunday it was Johnny and June Cash. So a wide variety of exposure in my life that way. And a lot of our values we have and the way we program comes from Dad. He was never one to tell you you were wrong. He really believed in being an example, and if it worked for you, you would come along.
In terms of your education, formal training, you studied more music as opposed to you?
I went to music business school.
Okay.
Don't tell anybody, but I'm a one-year college dropout.
And for this college dropout, what's now Up TV actually began as the Gospel Music Channel.
I've always had music as a passion, so that was the other piece when I thought about Gospel Music Channel. It seemed like such the perfect fit for me because I could really use my passion as well as my experience. And in life, when you bring those two together, it's that intersection that you're looking for, right?
So how do we go from Gospel Music Channel to GMC to Up TV?
In the cable industry, in our model, of course, you get license fees from cable operators, but you also have ratings. And so Nielsen is, your friend or not your friend, but you have ratings. And in gospel and Christian music, there are a lot of passionate fans that will watch it all day long. They have it on in the house. But there wasn't enough in the masses to drive the ratings numbers necessary to get the bigger advertisers. So we had some early believers, Ford and Lincoln came in, and some others that supported the gospel part of this. But we had to get beyond that. So we started testing some series. We had Amy Grant's Make-A-Wish that was on, and we got good response from the audience, so we started digging in, doing more research. We found Christian movies could have a great home here. Movies like The Blind Side could have a great home here. So we started to expand the programming beyond just gospel and Christian music and rebranded the network because we got to a point where we had probably 70% of the channel was not music. So it was a little confusing, the music channel. You've seen it, same thing happen with CMT, Country Music Television, you know, they went a different direction. MTV started all music. They don't have a lot of music on today.
Right.
So there's a reason those trends happen. For us, it was much the same. And, but the good news is, unlike a lot of brands that had to completely change their, what they stood for, what they were about, we were always an uplifting brand.
And among the latest additions to the brand,
Up TV's new series, Our Wedding Story.
Family's so important to us. We really did this wedding for my mom and his dad.
And next up for you guys, where?
I think next up for us is a really hard intentional steer into making movies again. We've kind of still made them for Christmas. We used to make about 18 movies a year. People loved us for it. We're going hard back into movies.
and be sure to check your local listings to find Up TV as well as its sister network, Magic Johnson's Aspire TV. You can also find more uplifting and inspiring stories on the world of entertainment on Studio 5. It airs tonight on the CBN News Channel at 9:30 Eastern. We'll also go behind the scenes with the series God Friended Me tonight, as well as for King and Country's new music duo with country music legend Dolly Parton. You can get all of that tonight. Stay with us. We'll be right back with an encouraging word for your life right after this.